Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how I painted my very first backdrop. Smooth, it's almost shiny. So what this does is it gives it a good base for the latex, the final coat to adhere to. So that works pretty good. And what I'm just using a 4-inch foam roller. Gives it a nice smooth um, finish, so you don't have a real you don't want a texture finish. I use this backdrop as primarily a view block between the return run on my layout. This is a Whirly right here, and then on the back side of it would be Fenimore. Now it's on to the blue, the base. This is called a Home Depot paint. This is called Cloudy Blue. or cloudy sky. Looks like my roller's a little bit wet yet. I just cleaned it out, so I just put more paint on it. This is where you want to roll it out good and make sure you don't have any uh, edge, from edges from the roller. You kind of put it on and then just go over it real lightly, and that'll kind of take care of those marks so that you don't see them when it dries. Now it's time to start working on the clouds. And what I have done is I'm going to have a hill behind this platform, a hill with the trees on it. And what I did was I did a kind of a, you can see kind of a light pencil line there with the cloud. Um, that was my practice area. Later that'll be green. And what I'm doing is I'm using just a regular household kitchen sponge that's damp, fairly pretty good damp, not dripping wet, but damp. And then I have just the white. This was just a ceiling white. I don't know. It's just a latex paint, and I put some of that on a piece of cardboard there as a palette, and then I dip the sponge in that, and then I just kind of spray it or spread it on as a kind of a misty area, kind of a haze in the sky. I don't want to have it just flat blue. I want some depth to it, so this would be more clouds in the distance kind of stuff. And you just put it on and just start spreading it out, just kind of working it. If it turns out you don't like it, you can always go back and just paint it over and just start again. Wanted it to blend in behind the trees, behind the hills there a little bit. This backdrop's about 8 feet long, 2 feet high. For the base of the clouds, I'll use a paint called Payne's Gray. And there's the name of the paint I use for back. It's called Partly Cloudy. That's for the base. You see some there now. I got a cap cover that I put some in to use as a base or kind of fill in inside the clouds. Then the clouds is just a ceiling white with the Payne's Gray. Payne's Gray is pretty dark, but it has a blue base to it. So when you mix it with the white, it comes out with a bit of um, a dark blue gray color. And you can, by adding more paint in, you can change the hue or I don't know what you call it, but it basically make it lighter. So here I'm down in my practice area again, and I think what they call this is stippling. But basically, you take a kind of a stiff brush and just put some paint on the end of it, and then just kind of dab and kind of gives it a little bit of a edge on it that you can almost like dry brushing. You don't want a lot of paint on it. Here I'm going to use the Payne's Gray, kind of mix it. I am not Bob Ross. That looks pretty dark, so you can kind of lighten that up. I'm just practicing here. This is my first cloud. You see in the background there, I have a picture of some clouds that I kind of use as a little bit of a reference. It helps with your, instead of trying to remember everything, you can use that as a kind of a guide. Just using both brushes and both colors to try and blend together so that you don't have a definite line between the two colors or the base and the cloud. I'm going to add some depth or whatever into the cloud. This one I'm going to do a little different. I'm going to try to start with the bottom or of the cloud and kind of get an edge on it and see what it looks like. Again, these are just my practice ones, so I'm playing around here and see what happens. And after a few days of looking at these, when I'm done, that first one looks like a puff ball, cotton ball. I'm gonna have to go back in and fix that one up a little bit. If you want to see more of my layout and how I'm modeling the Wisconsin narrow gauge in ON30, be sure to check out this video.